Welcome, everyone. It is April the 13th, and we are in Home to the Heart Book Club for a
Do you
review.
see my hand?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
You've enabled the side by side mode, right?
I tried that.
You did all that, eh? Yeah.
Yep, and it still didn't work.
Hmm.
I know, but you guys can see me, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Huh. I wish I could see me. Oh, well.
I can
Anyway,
see you and everybody else too.
yeah. Yeah. It's something to do with an upgrade in my computer and using Keynote, these are Keynote slideshows. Yeah. So they were very they when I oh, yeah, when I asked questions of Zoom, they told me that very specifically. So it's unfortunate, but I can hear you, so that's good. So we're going to do a review of the pubic chakra, pages 103 to 163, and we'll be reviewing with Albert Einstein, Lao Tzu, and Sanat Kumara. And it's April the 13th today, 2026. So if you're interested in listening to the audios, go into voiceoffreedom.ca. It's not a .com, it's a .ca. And always the YouTubes are there. Everything's on the homepage. Okay, so let's welcome all our buddies from the higher realms and especially the Divine Mother energy, where this is what's rising like a tide on the planet to create peace. So really focus on that Divine Mother energy within you. Go into the stillness and feel into that peace. That is where the expansion is taking place. Our ascension is taking place inside of us, in the heart space, in the stillness, and it's like a floating up feeling. So it's just practice dropping down into the heart and really going into that stillness that's in there. And the mighty archangels and Sanat Kumara, the ascended masters, enlightened beings, beloved saints, guides, our guides and guardians are working overtime too. Really ask them for help, and to Gaia for holding us. So let's surround ourselves with this beautiful healing chamber. If you feel like putting on the Divine Mother's cloak, remember to do that if ever you need more clarity about a situation. So that beautiful deep blue cloak with the hood. And then Archangel Michael always goes on the door wall. He walks along with his blue and then stands in the corner. This is a healing chamber that we're creating around us. Color is healing. Color is vibration and frequency. It is the mother and the father energy. All the colors are that. So this is why breathing color is healing. There's anything to do with vibration and frequency, the balancing of it. So Archangel Raphael walking along the next wall and standing in this corner, carrying his emerald flame. He is the healer of all the universes. So anybody that really loves green is always connected to Archangel Raphael, and that would mean you're a healer. Archangel Uriel and his silver along the third wall. This is to face into all our fears and find the truth of who we truly are. And Archangel Uriel is always with us. And then finally, Archangel Yophael with his magenta amethyst. That this is connected to Saint Germain as well. And this magic Yofi dust that you can sprinkle on everything to help bring the balance. And in the middle with Archangel Gabriel with her golden ascension spiral of joy. We're really building our bonfire of joy within, and Sanat Kumara and the scales of balance in universal law. It's time to understand universal law. And just know when you call on the mighty ones, Michael and his blue flame of truth, it's for burning away all doubt and denial, cutting away all those old unloving thoughts, feelings, belief systems. And he's right there. He wants us to be in our infinite potential, really accessing our sacred purpose. An Archangel Uriel with his silver flame facing into fears. This is to do with abundance as well. He is helping us get into the flow of energy that creates that abundance, along with Archangel Gabriel. And again, clearing away all doubt and work with these ones, Michael, Uriel, Gabrielle, in your heart space. You can sense them, you can feel them, you can see them. And of course, all the archangels you can call on, they're really just a call away. And they love it when we ask for help. I found this about joy, and it's Gabriel saying you think of doubt, a fear of happy or sad as an emotion or a belief. They do not have, can I say, the solidity, the substance of the divine qualities, joy included. So in these lower chakras that we're working with, we're in the second one for review right now. We're building our joy, the electric energy of gratitude. It is a condition. So joy becomes a state of being. And it's not something that once you've really anchored it in, it really stays with. We are building our bonfire. You already have the flame and the match. It is already within you. Doubt is not a core condition. It is a situational response. It is a belief in limitation or fear that we are not loved enough or cared for enough or powerful enough. So when you take the higher condition, the divine quality, and you take the ray of that quality, so breathe that color, whatever it is, and you bring that energy to the doubt, the fear, whatever it is, it will dissolve it. So Jesus talks to us about consciousness, something very powerful. It's an intense creative force. It's not static. This consciousness, this awareness, it transforms. It is the major instrument of change, yet at the same time, it wants to change nothing. Awareness says yes, yes to what is. It is receptive and accepting of all that is there. And this changes everything because it sets you free. And you want to be working with these rays. So the whole, if you're working with a color, work with the entire band of the color.
Would these
Just,
be like catalysts?
yes. What is a catalyst?
No, no, no. I was what you've been saying and being able to make changes and stuff like that sounds to me as if it's a catalyst. That's all.
A catalyst. Yes, we are catalysts for change. Yes, exactly. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we're standing like lighthouses, sending out energy. Sending is like, remember when Sanat Kumara talked about sending love with intention? That creates change, basically. And that's us. We are creating change. We are catalysts for change. Yes. I'm working with color. So you want to work with the whole band of color. So when she said, bring the ray of that quality, bring that energy, it will dissolve it. It's true. If you really start working with color, breathing color, wearing color, it helps with dissolving the old unloving thoughts and beliefs. I was told to stay away from wearing black when I first showed up in 2011 and Archangel Michael was talking to me. My guides really told me not to wear black because it's harder to shift wearing that really dense color. When you're in your ray and wearing your ray, it helps to shift the energy, the old unloving energy. When I'm doing the readings now, and if people have pain, I'm talking about loving the self. Like really, like love dissolves pain. So when you understand how loved you are and you hold yourself and touch yourself, like hold yourself, in this hands-on healing position where you hold your shoulders and you cross your arms over and you really feel love, it dissolves. It dissolves pain. So that's like working with color, working with touch. And Lao Tzu was the one, the hands-on healing. You can affect change faster when the energy is coming through you. All that loving energy, it just flows through you to another person. So yeah. So the blues, the greens, the silvers, the golds. So that's the peace energy, the love energy, the truth energy, the joy energy, all of that, holding that and understanding that, how healing it is, it dissolves. it dissolves the old pain and the belief systems. The kingdom of heaven is within us right now. Yeah, really, really working with the gold and your joy, being in gratitude for everything. Holy moly, it shifts so much. So yeah, just work with what you're guided to work with, the colors. So yeah, we're in this chakra right now, the pubic, and all of these lower ones are electric nature. So just it's golden, it's green. Nature is always green. Energy is the blue of the mother. So electric nature of the energy. They're talking about the father and love here, the oneness and the blue energy of the mother. So we're anchoring it all into these lower chakras, and then that's your foundation. Really being at peace, being love, and in the action of joy. For our ascension, the oneness, this is what it means to be one, knowing we are one family. This is our ascension. Ascension is each of us opening our hearts to the magnificence of your divinity. So remembering the divine states and working with universal law, understanding the classrooms, the dimensions, and the acknowledgement of the divinity of all. So blessing everyone, no matter what's happening, just bless it. Send that love, send that energy from your being out to everything. And guess what comes back to you is more and more blessings, more and more abundance. But if we're sending out judgment, it comes back to hurt us. So sending love, that is really a huge part of our ascension. So let's drop into the heart and just anchor in the tri-flame right now. And just realize we're working with lots of different colors. So whatever color comes to you, just breathe it in, and on the out breath, drop down into your heart space, into the emerald green of your heart, into anywhere in nature. Sense, like within, in your imagination, and just sense that tri-flame, how the gold expands and the blue expands and the pink of yourself. Really feel into them, and you want them equal and moving together, dancing together. And then notice that spark that's at the base of the pink. And this is good to work with this every single day until it becomes that you just know it's there. So it's practice, practice, practice. Expand the energy, and then anchor it above to source. Just braid all that energy together and see it goes directly to source energy. So this is our connection to the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, and braid it all as well and go down to Gaia and just feel how we are so connected to Gaia. This is an ascension in our physical form with Gaia. Okay, beautiful. And then come back up to the heart. Come back up into your heart, and let's go a little deeper. So we're going to breathe in some gold. So breathe that in. And on the out breath, we're going to go deeper down into the base of your heart chakra, just right to the top of your solar plexus. This is the seat of your soul. And this is another way to access the golden temple. In behind your heart chakra, you can go through this light. So just fly right through that pinprick portal of light to the interior chamber of your heart. And in here, in this magnificent golden chamber, you can look at the walls. There's symbols and sentences, ancient languages, formulas. All of this information is for us to access, to assist us on our sacred journey. So open and listen and feel and read. This is a wonderful space to come into every single day to discover more and more and more about your sacred purpose, your intentions, and it's a space to really anchor in your divine alignment, your balance, your power, your joy, all in the gold. So breathe and anchor that knowing. And we don't want it in just a deep meditative state. We want it to be anchored in our conscious, waking awareness. So look at the walls, allow this information to emerge, balance, see the divine perfection, our reflection of divinity. And then with that knowing, simply gently open your eyes, give thanks and gratitude for this wondrous insight. And it can be that simple. It doesn't need to take 30 minutes of your day. You can just drop down, fly in, listen, feel, see the images, and then just awaken yourself, bring yourself back to yourself and go about your day, basically. So often, like I will do that even before I get out of bed in the morning, just to bring in that sacredness for the day, set some intentions, and then go about your day. And you find everything flows a lot smoother. So the pubic chakra, what we're reviewing, it is the second dimension connected to the internet and the communication of energy in this two-dimensional place. Humility and compassion are anchored here. We studied humility, but they both are in the first and second chakras, and the law of intent, which is we're aligning, we're balancing, we're bringing in more and more joy, and we're learning to be that and send that with the law of intent. And just know this is a communication chakra, just for sending energy, basically, and a place of our service, our humility for Gaia. It is, even though there's the Sedona rocks here, it's not three-dimensional. It's two-dimensional. It's connected to communicating and sending healing energy for Gaia through the internet, basically. Yes, two-dimensional internet, communication of the healing. And humility is us being truly grateful for the many blessings bestowed upon each and all, the willingness of our being to extend ourselves to others, and the universal law of intent. Intent being the beginning of creation. And the root chakra is really anchoring in your self-love, worth, your value from your foundation. And from a place of compassion, which is the non-judgment. And the sacred purpose law is knowing we are one family. So it's amazing how much information is embedded in these first two chakras. And Archangel Gabriel wanted us to remember that self-love, self-worth of each individual on the planet. So not to judge, just keep sending the energy of non-judgment so we all get to that compassion. Surrendering into that incredible love relationship with yourself, gratitude for yourself, sacred purpose, sacred intentions, compassion, and humility. So it's almost like you're diving in, dive into yourself. It's the most exciting thing to do. Okay. So this chakra is very orangey red, but it is a bright red, located between the ruby red chakra at the base of the spine and the bright orange sacral chakra. It's where we say, Albert Einstein says, we say, "Sweet world, I am here." It is about the size of a quarter, and it's a breathe out energy of this deep orange red, the red rocks of Sedona, old brick, red mud of the Mississippi. Open this chakra and think and feel intention for our divine service, our humility. So these chakras, they're about the size of a quarter, and they spin both ways. So when you're working with your chakras intentionally, you can feel them spinning. So sense them, and they're always sending energy and bringing energy in. This is why we work with them, because they are really bringing us into divine alignment. It's where we embody the quality of the second dimension, communication far and wide in divine alignment. It has no depth or emotion. It's the second dimension, creative, busy place, flat energy in motion, not three-dimensional. So the internet is a good example, place where ideas can go viral. We want the internet to be a place of love. Human existence can often feel desperately lonely. We tend to limit ourselves with thoughts of anxiety and exclusion, old belief systems of separation and anxiety. Understanding the qualities of the second dimension, reconnection, surrender to our divinity, interconnectedness with all things, knowing all energy is one. We support each other without trauma, in compassion and humility, cooperation and creation. So we're letting go all these old issues, unloving thoughts, feelings, beliefs, lack of self-worth, lack of gratitude for each other, lack of self-love, lack of caring for each other. That's what creates war, pollution, homelessness, addiction, that lack of caring. And it starts inside of us. So we let that go. We come into this beautiful golden field all around us of gratitude, and it changes our world. It's as simple as that. It starts with us. Dispel the density with gratitude for it. So when you're grateful for all the experiences, it literally changes your field, and it creates a field that will attract more blessings. So humility is the ability to be truly grateful for the many blessings bestowed upon each and all. Knowledge that alone we are rather incompetent, but united with one we are all. Necessary for all works and sharing of service. Its color is red. And Lao Tzu went into great detail. He said it is truly a privilege to be able to serve, not a duty or a responsibility, truly an honor. And it's a unifying factor. So if we were all out serving each other, it would unify us. It not only for humanity, but all beings, because what it does is it brings you into the balance of equality. So we're anchoring in a place of no hierarchy on the planet. We have a hierarchy right now. We often feel we're better than nature. No, we're all equal. Everyone, every being, everything. It's a system of equality in the higher realms, and we want to remember that here. If you are truly embracing the virtue of humility, you realize there are none above, none below. All are brothers and sisters, each on a unique and yes, sometimes perilous journey. And he says, what is your job? It is to go at times into those perilous situations and to diffuse them, because the peril is simply the creation of the human mind. Unless, of course, it is truly that you're wading into a raging, flooding river. We've all done this, in which case I suggest you tie a rope around you, because yes, whether it's a family situation, a work situation, whatever it is, we can go in and the belief systems can be really raging. So once we eliminate them from within ourselves, we can go into these situations and know we're fully protected and help diffuse them just by being loving and kind. Humility is knowing the reward of service is the service itself, willingness to extend ourselves to others, really. And when you extend yourself to one, you're really extending yourself to all, because we're all interconnected. Knowing it is a privilege, truly an honor to serve, and also allowing ourselves to be served. Reciprocal actions do not need to be of equal value. They are a unifying force. So it's just us serving each other. And remember how he said he would do a healing and then he would receive a cup of tea. And it was just a unifying force, serving each other. Also, our willingness to learn, and with acceptance, with gratitude, accepting our love and worth, sharing insights. And I've just found this from the Divine Mother. Humility is to know we have need for connection and the expression of connection in service. So that's her definition of humility. It's beautiful. Part of what you yearn for, each of you, and I know it because I, as human, have also yearned for it, deep yearning to be accepted for who you are, to be seen and to be known, and in that knowing, to be cherished and valued. So it can start by doing that to yourself. But he's saying the starting point is to accept, and it is not to say accept the reality, because what is reality anyway? Is accept the possibility. Can you accept the possibility of love and your value? Not that it is a given or a proven, but just the possibility when that crack of the door, and there's that door again, is open, you are home. It's like planting a seed, and you can harvest a whole crop of rice from that one seed. So there's that door again. When the Divine Mother said the keys to heaven are trust and forgiveness, the doorway is love. Open the doorway with your keys and step into your new life. And there's Lao Tzu. Can you accept the possibility of love and your value? When that crack of the door is open, you are home. So I love it when they use this door metaphor. And really, it's being grateful for yourself, for the courage it takes to come here, because this is not an easy planet. First, give gratitude. Oh, this is all about judgment, not to judge, not to judge ourselves or anyone out there. And I know there's a lot going on. It's easy to judge, but Lao Tzu has this wonderful advice. He says, first, give gratitude that you have not walked that path. And yes, to understand that the axe murderer or the bomber, or those who commit what are the most heinous acts. They arrived with the purity of grace in their souls, and it did not die. Did it? It did become lost. Was it ignored or covered? Yes, but you see the danger when you judge somebody else, you are judging yourself. And we say, well, that person is a murderer, and look what they have done. They are horrible. They need to be punished. And Lao Tzu says, breathe, send love, and look and see if there's been a positive outcome, because there usually has been. There's usually a silver lining to all what is happening on the planet. And even within ourselves, when something happens, there's always a silver lining. So keep practicing non-judgment. And often the ones that are involved in the most heinous acts are a catalyst for change. So they're moving energy, they're bringing it up to the surface for it to be let go, for all of us to choose to decide for peace on the planet. So we look at so much chaos that's happening. Do we choose the chaos, or do we choose a different route? So it's awakening many people. And Lao Tzu says the light which moves at the speed of love, so us sending love, quite literally transforms carbon to crystalline. And the tri-flame, when you're working with that, that's diamond energy. So just know you're working with transforming yourself into this crystalline structure. Think of carbon under pressure becomes diamond, and what you're doing with this flow of energy through a physical form, whether you are there or not, but particularly when it's hands-on, that's like what I was talking about, hands-on touch. If someone's really struggling, just hold their hand, put your hand on their shoulder, feel the love flowing through you to that person so they remember how loved they are. Is you're creating such a flow of energy that it is assisting not only the anchoring, but the transformation of the crystalline body. So touch is super important right now. You can learn, all of you, because I have, with my beloved brother, Saint Germain, been teaching this for years. So you can ask for them to teach you inside of yourself. They're so wanting us to know how to do this. And if anyone wants more information, just email me. All you need to do is say yes to be a transmitter of divine quality, of unity with one and unity with all. Basically, it's allowing the love of the higher realms to flow through us. And then if someone's really struggling, as I said, just hold the hand, touch the shoulder, and feel that love. It is an act of humility. You cannot be a healer and suffer from pride. And that's why they want us out volunteering and being with people. I had a lady today, and I could see in her field that she was supposed to be with the babies in the hospitals, the ones that just need to be held. And I said to her, I see you doing this. And she said, I know all about that. So I think maybe she will go and do that. The kingdom of heaven is whatever you want it to be. It is your heart. It is your inner child at rest. So working with your child self and bringing it to peace and helping it just be grateful that it came to do this work. And yes, childhood can be really, really difficult. But when you come to peace with all those experiences and you can be grateful for them, then that energy doesn't come forth anymore. The ego just calms right down and it doesn't jump up in fear anymore. So working with your inner child is really important. It is cities of light, which are crystalline. When you fly into your golden temple, that golden temple turns into a city of light. So fly in there and see that. It's miraculous. It is a situation in which your full vision is restored so that you can see what has gone before you and what comes after you. It is a place of joy where the angels and the archangels and yes, the masters sit and walk and talk with you. It is as vast as the universe and it is small. It is as small as a newborn duckling. And there's little Amelia. The ability to experience the kingdom of heaven is within you right now. There is a misunderstanding that you cannot experience it unless you have died, left your body, but that is not true. We are ascending in form. So that concept of death is going away because people get sick and die. And when you eliminate all the belief systems, nobody gets sick anymore. So there's no more death. So just know, like, you're anchoring that on earth and it's all found within. So sitting in the heart space, it all comes forth. It is anchoring love on earth because that is what heaven is. It is the state of being completely and totally in love and having the freedom of movement to explore, to play, to sing, to go bowling if you wish. So it's whatever you want to do in your action, in your joy, but first the stillness, the healing, the letting go, and then always coming back to the heart. So you're out in your joy and then coming back. So you get triggered by something, then sit still when you have time and look at it and see how it's connected to the past, and then do the work around that, the letting go, and then back to your joy again. The kingdom of heaven is within us. I love that. I'm so happy that Lao Tzu told us that. And thank you, Lao Tzu, for all those beautiful teachings. Okay, so now we're on to the universal law of intent. Yes. Okay, and with Sanat Kumara, and he says, greetings and welcome to you. I am your dear friend. He loves to be called Raj. He's our brother, teacher, and holder of the law of one and of all. There is no creation that is meaningful in the sense of the universe or yourself without intention. So just know if we have intentions out of alignment that we haven't addressed, so belief systems, unloving thoughts, you know the list, if they're running without us having addressed them, then they are unconsciously, subconsciously interfering. So this is what he says, whether you choose to engage consciously and actively with the law of intent or whether you simply choose to ignore it does not mean it is not in operation. So it's super important to address the old belief systems from childhood. And to remember to set intentions every morning. This is a fantastic list. Intention for your day, for your week, for our behavior, for what we choose to receive throughout the day. You can ask to receive love or joy or any of the divine states or, money, even if money is needed. Just ask and then be prepared to do letting go, because what's interfering with abundance is old belief systems. How I wish to interact with others, the inspiration I wish to receive. Oh, healing, always healing, healing, healing. Okay, so in the meditation, we looked at the whole band of gold, and it's all around us. It's in the Yahweh is like sunlight, so that's the Divine Father energy. And then Sanat Kumara is the shiny gold. And then Gabriel is that deep Florentine gold, that old gold of your grandmother's ring. And then there's rose gold. And then there's this deep, deep gold that's like brown, that's in the center of black-eyed Susans. And then there's this gold, which is like the gold, the gold of Sanat Kumara, of daisies, the center of daisies, and citrine too. So there's so many different colors of gold. And they're all really powerful. When you're breathing that color, just know you're bringing in your, for the ignition of your bonfire of joy, for your power, for your divine alignment, for your balance. So let's go down and see Gaia, because this meditation is a wonderful one to do even before you get out of bed as well. So you can drop down into your heart, then you can travel down your chakras down to the root chakra, and then you want to go right down your root chakra cord to the center of the planet. So until you see a portal, a window, a door, and go through that portal where you see Gaia. So she is our mother of earth. She is an archangel. It's very unusual that there's an archangel in the center of, that is a planet. And so she is a custodian. She's standing beside a beautiful fire that is surrounded by star beings and elders. It is the council fire in the center of the planet. And you can ask Gaia for one of the flames from the fire. This really boosts up our self-worth. And she places it directly in our heart so that we carry her warmth, her wisdom as we travel during this earth life. So this is a wonderful thing to do. Go down, visit Gaia, just travel down through the earth, through the granite layers and the water layers and the gaseous layers, right down to the center of the planet, and go through that portal doorway and see Gaia right there. She loves it when we visit her. And if you're really struggling with something, she'll sit down with you and you can put your head in her lap and, just do the letting go. She's a major, major transmuter of energy. So she can help you transmute those old belief systems. And then feel yourself leaving. So you're pulling back up through the void, the gaseous layers, the water, the granite, the earth, back through your foundation, your floor, your carpet, and you're pulling that golden flame, that feeling. It's really a feeling, that gratitude for her, for you, for the journey that you carry into your heart, and feel that warmth and that golden glow. So you just know that it's like a stream of divine alignment, that golden energy right into your heart, and it boosts your self-worth. Anything gold is a powerful boost to our self-worth. And Sanat Kumara asked us to remember two things: our intention. So you can take this golden energy from Gaia and expand it for the remembrance of intention and purpose. And he said, we set intentions before we came here. So, and we always intend before we come to be love. So, so just know that's running under everything, that loving, loving intention to be love. And then our intention for our life right now, the smaller piece. What is our intention in terms of our ascension, the completion of our ascension in this moment of now? So what is that? What are you working on? And really, you can write that down, really anchor that into your being. because we're here to be one family, one unified heart, a unity grid, unity consciousness, and it's nothing more complex than the sharing of love, and it begins and ends with our beautiful sacred self, the opening of our hearts to the magnificence of our divinity and the acknowledgement of the divinity of all. Everyone is birthed from source originally. Everyone comes out like a spark of light. And then we go off on these adventures. So we're just in a wild adventure right now. And we're helping everyone remember that they are divine. Even if they're really acting out of alignment, just keep sending love, sending love, sending love. From the walls of our heart, allow the information to emerge. Bring this knowing to our conscious awareness. See how it is in direct alignment and balance. The divine perfection and reflection of divinity. And so this is all in our heart space, working within those golden chambers and just allowing that information to come forth. And it doesn't come forth as English. It just comes forth as a knowing, as concepts, images, feelings, and you just come away and you're like, oh, right, that's what that is. Okay. And if you can translate it into English, then write it down. But if it doesn't translate right away, just be in the energy of it, and eventually it will, you will understand what it is. Sometimes it takes a few days. It is time for each of us in our divinity, our wholeness, to actively engage with the law in every aspect of the law, and to do so in ways that are meaningful, not only to the collective, but to you. Because when you are operating in ways that are meaningful to you, when you are intending that which is a balance of love, of charity, of compassion for you, so non-judgment of the self, then of course it is the same reflection throughout all your planet, all of humanity. So this is how important it is to do the individual work and get to that compassion for yourself, that gratitude, compassion and humility, non-judgment and gratitude. Remember, humility is being grateful for the many blessings bestowed upon each and all. So your own blessing that you are, really deep gratitude for you. The law of intent is kind, so deep kindness to yourself, generous to yourself, sharing to yourself, like really make sure you take care of you. It is joyous, it is tender, it is considerate, never selfish or arrogant, never excluding of others' well-being and development. So we're including everyone, for that would not be in alignment with the mother and with love. And of course, there's boundaries. So you can give and give and give and give, and then comes a point where, maybe some boundaries come up. But we want to give as much love as we can to everyone. When I speak to you of intention, I wish to speak to you of intention on every single level, he says. Your feelings, your emotional body, how are you holding, projecting, anchoring intention within your emotional body and within your mental body. You cannot anchor what you intend to bring forth, what the intention of your life is, your service, your pleasure, your joy, if you're holding contradictory thoughts. So it's really getting to those old issues and letting them go. Law of intent means that your mental body, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotional body are coming into that alignment with divine thought, mind, will, heart. Consistency, congruence, constancy. And those are the attributes of the Divine Mother. So that healing is really connected to the blue energy. Trusting yourself, forgiving yourself, being in the stillness, in the serenity that's inside for the healing. The human condition, the experience, the creation work of humanity has been far too manipulated and convenient, and it has been intent by ego. So that's fear. Ego pops up when we're afraid, or other than intent by love. And you have learned and you have experienced and been brokenhearted. It does not work. It does not begin to serve. He's talking now about the vision of our sacred purpose in alignment with the totality of who you are. every thought, every action, every friendship, every collegial association. How do you behave? What are your relationships like? What does your action reflect? What does your behavior reflect? Is it in complete alignment with your intentions for what you wish to achieve, what you wish to experience, what you have agreed to do? So we all came in with purpose. We all came in volunteering. We volunteered to help bring this planet to balance. So we do have everyone's come in with purpose. And it is really exciting when you uncover it, you know, because you can't wait to get out of bed and get to it. So it does help setting intentions because it really anchors it in. But again, it's the consistency. Consistency. Set intent, and then you can anchor it into like a beaded necklace or a bracelet, and then you carry it around every time you look at it. You see. And he says, we have carried our intention for this and every lifetime for eons. It is already embedded deep within you. It is simply bringing it into your conscious reality and your everyday activity. That is part of the reason why we're speaking about intent right now. It is about bringing it into your world and letting it be reflected by the divine qualities. So really being the divine qualities, compassion, humility, now we've discussed. Your intent is part of a divine intent. It's never cruel, never unfair, never unkind. And there's nothing more magnificent than the expression of your truth. It's centeredness, and it gives us the insight to operate and create in ways that we desire. We cannot create when we're out of balance in the old energy, the fear, the angst, the anger, the disappointment, despair, lack, thinking we are in control. It is not possible. So we've all experienced these unloving ways, generally in the family situation. So it's going back into childhood and with no fear, looking at it and blessing it, and thanking yourself and blessing your mom, blessing your dad, blessing whoever was looking after you for teaching you what works and what doesn't work. And when you bless it all, it balances yourself. It's a miraculous. But it's a practice, getting to that place of gratitude. And like the Divine Mother said, forgiveness and trust. And that's the healing. He asks us to go back and again and again and again to reflect, to listen, to hear, to read, to expand your understanding of what your intent is. What is the intent that you had prior to coming? What is your intent right now in terms of your ascension? What is it your soul demands of you? What is the heartfelt request your universal self is making of you? So that's the big, big self that's anchoring closer, closer. And from this, you begin to feel the alignment into your actions, your behaviors, your wishes, your dreams, your creations. So that's this, your big, big self. And see how it's golden? That's like your angel self that's really good at blessing everything. We'll go back into childhood and change your perspective to what a blessing it was. Everything that we experienced, no matter if it was really traumatic, if you can change it into seeing, oh, well, I really learned this, or find a way to feel gratitude for it, it will shift your entire being so that you can constantly be in a state of joy. It's really amazing what work you can do with your soul, with your universal self. And then that anchors in how loved you are, the pink, and how much you are at peace with this lifetime and with every lifetime, because we've all been everything. So when you're sending out forgiveness and trust to others, it's actually coming back and anchoring that within yourself. Giving that to your inner child, it really helps with everything. Intention is the beginning of creation, and embedded within that intention is inspiration and imagination. So you clear out all the old energy, guess what comes in? Inspiration. It also includes not simply an idea, but the actions that are congruent, the behaviors, the hearts, desires that are congruent. So there's that CON word, consciousness, congruent, contemplation. What were some of the other ones? Consistency, continuity, all the healing of the CON words. When you go and you align yourself with the sacred universal law of intent, and you ask that everything you do, think, feel, believe, be in alignment with that sacred law of intent, of which your intent is part, and then you keep to that practice daily, hourly, it will eliminate the feelings of lack. Because what happens is you become more anchored, more enmeshed in the fiber of truth, because the laws are the truth of God. So invoking the law of intent every day can be super helpful because it actually brings you right into that divine alignment. And then working with your intentions. The laws, working with the laws, working with the blessings and virtues, it brings you right into the center of your being, into the remembrance of who we truly are. There is no lack when we practice being in the stillness, in the heart, and stay in alignment with our sacred purpose and our sacred intentions. All lack just disappears. You cannot be in the truth and hold a belief system that is not in alignment with truth. A lack of self-worth is not in alignment with any truth. It is part of the old. And it's been present on the planet for so long. It's time for change. Unity with one, unity with all. Hold that. And they have no desire to see us wither and die, not through any kind of money issues, not being able to follow our dreams. So they say, be like a tree. Anchor, put your roots down, anchor firmly, pull up the energy from Gaia, go to the top of your tree, open and receive what you want. Intend, open, receive. It's our soul agreement to share. We always share. So what do you open your heart to receive? So we're always, as you give, you must receive. So sharing is why we're here. And if fear comes up, because when you're working with this really intense divine energy, up will come the fear to be let go. So this is great. You want the fear to be up so you can deal with it. And often we get really angry. When fear comes up, we get angry because things have not materialized or manifested. But this is fantastic. You want to get this anger out. The thing about fear, it freezes us, and then it calls on its cousin doubt, which will knot our very heart. So, but he says this is not impossible at all. And this is when we call on Archangel Michael, and he with his really big sword, and he can help us cut all the ties that bind, all fear, all limitation, all feelings of inadequacy. And we can but go to the stillness to do this. Allow this to happen. Listen to our guides and know that there's layers to fear. So if fear comes up again, then do it again because there's layers to it. Oh, and the best thing is to laugh. Laugh, laugh, laugh. If you can laugh, then you're already there. You can laugh at the situation. You're not all tied up in knots about it. Then you've really already let it go. Because the old can't sustain itself when we're laughing. And SK says to be brave and be outspoken. He said the original intent of human law, of fairness, of equality, of freedom to create was based on universal law. Human law is a reflection. The elements of divine law are in there. So for any human to suggest that universal law does not exist is simply denial. And that is something we don't want to participate in. Remember, doubt and denial, we're eliminating that here. So he says, he asks us to keep going, read the chambers of our hearts, expand our intent, and know that when you start writing intentions, they expand every day, they expand. Expand your law of purpose, call on him, and he says for us to go with incredible peace and celebrate. Remember, he told us to celebrate too. If we see things going right, celebrate. Celebrate what you're creating, what you're doing, and know you are not in charge. So there is no control in the higher realms, and we're eliminating that here. And it really is connected to guilt as well. So if you go deep into control issues, it's usually an element of guilt there. So, and some feelings that old religious belief systems too. So it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a really interesting one to look at. The law of intent. When you align yourself with the sacred universal law of intent and you ask that everything you do, think, feel, believe, be in alignment with that sacred law of intent, of which your intent is part, you keep to that practice daily, hourly, it will eliminate the feelings of lack because you become more anchored, more enmeshed in the fiber of truth. So truth, we will get to that. That's a divine quality, a divine blessing and virtue, because the laws are the truth of God. You cannot be in the truth and hold a belief system that is not in alignment with truth. Lack of self-worth is not in alignment with any truth. It is part of the old. When you're operating in ways that are meaningful to you, when you are intending that which is a balance of love, of charity, charity's sharing, of compassion for you, then of course it has the same reflection throughout all your planet, all of humanity.
Kathleen, can I interrupt with a question?
Yes.
So this just popped into my head as I was just scribbling about on my thinking about intention. And can you speak to the difference between these two statements? One would be, today I intend to be, fill in the blank, or today I intend to do this or that. Can you speak to the difference between those?
Yes. So being generally is in the stillness and being able to hold that when you go out in public. So that's how important it is to practice going into the stillness for the healing energy of the mother, like really getting to trusting and forgiving and being in that peace and that calm, the blue energy of the Divine Mother. That's being. And doing is more your joy, going out, but you're carrying the stillness with you. You're carrying the beingness with you wherever you go. So you're out and you're really calm, but you're doing. So it's both. Joy is the action, the gold. You know how the golden flame is the action and the blue flame is the healing? So you're both. You're carrying that with you when you're out doing. Does that make sense?
Totally. Yeah, no, that ties in really nicely. And I'm thinking then sacred purpose.
Mhm.
Which one of those aligns, or sacred purpose, you'd hold both of those?
Absolutely.
Because when you think of purpose, you think of doing, right? That's how I'm wired anyways, right? So that's, yeah. So I guess for me, when I think of intention and purpose and all that stuff, I probably am more conscious of doing than I am conscious of being.
Yes, and see, that's us. We're not used to sitting still and going into the heart and anchoring in that peace and that serenity within us. Once it's anchored, it goes everywhere with you. And people can sense it. They'll say, "Oh, you feel so calm. How are you so calm?" And then you say, "Well, comes from the meditation work, from sitting still, from going into the heart, from accessing all the information in the heart." But we're not taught to do this. So this information should be anchored into our children at school. And for us to anchor it in now, like really every day, practice being in the heart space. And it doesn't even have to take that long. It can be 5 minutes. And then away you go. Get into your doing, but you're taking that stillness with you everywhere. And it's good because then you're not getting caught in other people's drama. You can just stand back, you can be compassionate and not judge, you can listen, you become a really good listener, and then people can figure out what their issues are. We don't really even have to say anything because we're holding the space for them to access their stillness and their healing.
Makes sense.
Okay, good. Thank you. That was a great question. Okay, so yeah, this is us. We've now completed the pubic chakra, the second dimension, knowing that it's connected to the internet, and we're always sending that healing out to the planet through every communication on the internet. Every email that you send, it's embedded with who you truly are, like in between the letters and the words, your energy goes out into the internet. And then humility, really anchoring in that gratitude for everyone and especially for yourself, compassion, the non-judgment of everything, especially again, the self, and setting intentions. So with intentions, it's like, I know everyone's probably done a vision board and put it aside and then found out 5 years later, oh my gosh, everything came to be. So yeah, intentions are really powerful. So it's creating our divine alignment and our balance, really growing that bonfire of joy, and in loving service. So that bonfire of joy is within too. That real like lightness of being, you're taking that with you everywhere you go. Okay. So yes. Okay, so now we'll just say thank you to everyone, really, to Albert Einstein and Lao Tzu and Sanat Kumara and all the beings that are helping us. Such great gratitude for these teachings. And let's see, what time are we at? Oh, yeah. Okay, we're not too far. That was a lot of information, and we're not too far behind. So if everyone can stay and do the 10 minutes of sending, if you need to go, that's fine. But let's do our 10 minutes of sending, unless there's any other comments or questions. Okay. Then I will just remember you're like a lighthouse and you're in the stillness inside of yourself and we're sending. And oftentimes the energy you'll feel it actually come out your third eye. It's coming out through all the chakras, but for whatever reason, you can really feel it come out your third eye like a lighthouse. So just watch for that happening. But yeah, send it to your family, to your friends, to the community and out globally. And just know it travels really fast. It goes to the other side of the planet and back at the speed of light. So anchoring in being our divine qualities and sending that energy really helps the planet. Okay, so I will set the timer. Oh, I can't even mute myself. So if you guys all want to mute yourselves, that's good. And I'll set the timer. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay. That's 10 minutes. I can see you now. Mm. Okay. Anything? Does anyone want to? Lillian, do you want to say anything? No.
Kathleen, it was a lovely evening. You put forth so much effort and work into what you had to say, and I really appreciated it. I have a really busy week, and I'm just going to have to sign off and go. I have to go to bed because it's after 10 here, and I usually go a little bit before that.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. It's
Thank
really
you so much.
appreciated.
Thank you.
Good
We're
night.
from the East Coast. Good night. Thank you. Good
Okay.
night, one and all. Take care.
Okay. I got to remember to keep it. I'll make sure I keep it under 7 o'clock. Or well, she's like 10 o'clock. Yeah, you're 10 o'clock. Yeah. That was a long one because there was a lot to review. Yeah, but I'll now next week we'll be into the sacral chakra, the bright orange one. So we'll begin that. Fortitude with Jesus. Yeah, so it's exciting. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was really fun. Thanks for coming, you guys. And yeah, we'll be back again next week. I'll send out another newsletter. Hopefully get some more information in there. Good. Okay. Any comments or questions? No. Okay. All
That
right.
was great. It was a good review. It was a lot, but it was helpful for sure. It was helpful.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Good.
Okay, good.
Well,
All
thanks a lot.
Good night, everybody. Thanks, Kathleen.
Bye.
Okay. Good night.
So loud.
Thanks, Jane.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. No, it's just us.
Kathleen.
Yeah, dear. Usually it doesn't happen. It's just
I
us.
know.
Mhm.
So my
Oh,
cell
wait.
phone rang.
Oh, just wait. Okay, I'm just going to say good night to everybody. Good night, everyone.